Hello everyone, it's me, Nancy Finch, doing another Tea with Nan at 12 o'clock on a Monday. Welcome. I've got my Tigger cup today. So I hope some of you can join me on here today. Well, I haven't been on here for a couple of weeks because last week was bank holiday and I'd forgotten all about that the week before. I don't really pay attention to dates sometimes. But anyway, I'm in a Tigger mood today. So if anyone is going to come on here, I'll give you a big Monday hug. So please come on and say hi. Be lovely to see you. I've missed you all. So I want to make sure this is broadcasting as well because my phone's been acting up a little bit. Tea with Nan today is about meditation. We have very, very busy minds and everything that we're doing is like rushing and it's very chaotic. Even if for peaceful people that they think they're peaceful, they still have lots of stuff going on with family. So it is quite funny how we say, oh, we're quite calm and I'm relaxed. And well, some people say they're retired and they're not doing much and all that kind of thing. But it's not at all. They are really suffering with too much in their head, but they don't know it. And, you know, one of the tricks to know that if you need to meditate, or I'm just going to get rid of this. There we go. Oh, I think the phone is working again now. So if you're going to need to, how do you know you need to meditate? You know, people say there's no time to meditate. That's what today's all about. We need to kind of still our minds so that we can be more for ourselves and others. And it's very important that we, at least, because it's an invisible thing, isn't it? We need to address that feeling that we can't just keep spinning around like a marble in a tin. We have to create some peace in our mind, in our lives, because what we feel, we create more of. So it is really lovely to focus today on when people say there's no time to meditate. Even as I say, people I know who are retired seem to not work, you know, they seem to have no time because what we do is we fill our time with so much other things. We fill it with other people's requests, other people's needs, ourselves. We're sort of like a cupboard that we empty. We soon fill it up again, don't we? And that's kind of what I'm talking about right now. So busy people say, well, I've got no time to meditate. It's quite interesting because we really do need to be aware of our body's energy. Obviously, these chakra energies will be something that you'll be aware of. If they're not working well, you tend to get imbalance in one of those areas. You know, they all govern, different emotions govern those chakras. And when we sort of meditate, we're having a feeling of stillness in our mind. So it's very good for your crown chakra. It's also very good for your heart chakra. Really nice for your immune system. So you're really helping those two areas here, this green area and the purple area. And I'm playing with a little purple pendulum thing at the moment. It's really nice because it's a purple color. I loved it. So you can meditate in lots of different ways. Now, when people first say meditation, they think they've got to lie down, they've got to do the whole business. But, you know, they haven't. They can do it in a very easy way. You can simply think, I'm going to still my mind, like water. I can just imagine still water. I can focus on a flower. I can focus on nothing. Still your mind means kind of discipline to not think. Trying not to think is a good thing. So in a way, not sort of allowing one thought to lead to another, to another, to another. Okay? So there's no time like the present. You know, people say, I've really got no time. I mean, I'm a busy mum. I've got this, I've got that. But you have got time. You've got time to 5 minutes maybe, or a minute, even a minute. I remember being so busy as a mother and childminder and a few years back. And I remember thinking there's no time. But I grabbed a minute now and again, just imagining I was at a very beautiful beach. And I was happy there, and it was just still. The water was lovely. No thoughts, no external thoughts of what I have to do, where I have to be, all of those feelings, okay? So I realised very quickly that we ought to make more time for that, even if you're doing the ironing. I mean, I remember washing up and ironing, thinking I have to just concentrate, but not concentrate, lose your gaze. So what you're doing is you're doing an action, but you're actually feeling so much better inside yourself because of that, okay? And I see there's nobody on here just yet, so I'm imagining that the phone call I had just now probably interrupted with some of that transition over. So I will post this again. If you're not live, don't worry, I'll still say hi to you and I'll carry on. It's technology, isn't it? So anyway, family and friends need us to be calm. They need us to be the best version of ourselves. And if we can just find a way, it might be listening to music. It might be, just allowing yourself that, not too no stimulus. This is the idea, well, hardly. If you're listening to music, you need to be just ease into it. You need to have gazing out on the flowers, looking at the leaf, looking at the water, listening to water. You can use your senses. Oh, I think there's somebody on today. Who are you? Come and say hi. I'll give you a hug. You're the first person on, and I thought that this wasn't working. I was talking to myself. Well, that wouldn't be the first time. So say hi, whoever you are, and I'll send you a Monday hug. We all need Monday hugs. Oh, Vanda. Oh, thank you for being on here, darling. I thought my phone was playing up because I had a bit of a technical thing just before I got on. So thank you for being here. You're the first person to have a Monday hug. Thank you. I've missed you. I mean, I haven't, she says. Oh, that's nice. So I haven't been on it for a couple of weeks and I really missed it. Oh, hi, sweet. That's lovely. I love your name, Vanda. Beautiful name. I've always loved that name. You're the only person I know called Vanda. So I hope you're having a good Monday, darling. So we're talking about no time to meditate. People make excuses. And I'm sort of brushing over this subject a little bit to show you, just to remind you that even busy people can make that 5-minute, 2-minute, as long as you like, effort to try to get in touch with that inside of themselves. So you're welcome, Amanda. So it's important that we get focused on the inside, and the way we can do that sometimes is losing our focus on the outside. I've got many talks I've done on this about breathing and hand-head meditation. I'll get to that in a minute, and the importance of course. So this will link nicely with the previous talks I've done. And how do you know you need to meditate? People go, oh, I'm fine, I'm happy, I'm organized, I've got time to do this or that, and they think they're okay with that. But how do you know you might need to go deeper into a place of quiet inside yourself? So you can just breathe and focus on your breath and focus. I mean, you can do that when you're consciously doing something else, as I said, but you can also do it inside yourself if you're lucky enough to have the opportunity just to be still, just to be quiet, and just returning to that spirit inside you, which is very important that we do that, because when we come back out from that, we are a much wiser person. We can hear our thoughts, we can act upon them, we can make better decisions. You see, when we meditate, we still our minds, which opens this chakra, gives you a chance to think better. You naturally, your memory should improve, your focus should improve, you'll lose that fuzzy head that, we run around all day long doing the same things, and it's like repetitive. It's just it's a wheel, isn't it? We're on a wheel, a treadmill, and we're going round and round. Carol's here. Hi, Carol. Happy Monday to you, darling. So we can, without realizing it, be caught in a rut. And I have written all of this here to say, well, how can we change that? Even if you can't do it every day, make the intention to do that. Maybe, watch, even if you watch someone else moving, as in Tai Chi, for instance. I used to love watching Tai Chi, because when you watch people do it, just watching them making that slow, deliberate, beautiful energy move, there's nothing else but watching that. And you find the whole room feels it. I remember seeing this at one of the Mind Body shows I went to, and I thought I'd love to. I was part of it just by watching, but I actually did actually join a class and learned a little bit of Tai Chi, and I loved it because it stilled my mind and it created calm throughout my body. So dancing can do that. Slow movements, if you can't make any others. So movement can do it, dancing, anything that's, even watching other people. We feel that from other people. It's simulated. We feel if we're listening to people with a nice calm voice, we tend to yeah, we tend basically to feel that calmness. We feel calm from that person, don't we? So, or from that person that's even in a guided meditation even, which is interesting. So a guided meditation is lovely because some people can't do it themselves. They've got too many things going on in their heads, so they need a guided meditation. And anyone would like to go into my YouTube channel, because there's no website now. I've got rid of the website. I didn't need it. So if you go to YouTube, you'll find Nancy Finch. You'll find all the meditations, the guided meditations that I've done there. So they are great because my intention is in the voice, and my voice will help you feel calm. And you don't have to listen to all of them. Just play around with whichever ones you think you like. You know, perhaps scroll down and see which ones you fancy. But they do help. And as I was creating them, I remember feeling every sentence, every word, every feeling was making me feel great. So it was great all the way around, actually, for people. Oh, hi, Val, you're here as well. Thank you. Happy Monday. So it's great if you can either share them or suggest them to your friends. They're all free. Or just find your own meditations that suit you, because it doesn't matter where you get that peace from. You need to create that moment, that hour, that experience. Because when you do that, you are in harmony, more likely, with your body, your mind. And I remember when I was meditating, even just as I say, focused on doing something, you know, something mundane. I remember meditating, just doing the garden, you know, not thinking of anything else, just looking at the flower, just focused on something simple. My whole body responded. My central nervous system calmed. You know, you breathe better. And that's the clue I was talking about a minute ago. How do you know you need to? Well, look at your breath. Listen to your breath. Watch yourself. Breathe. Take a deep breath right now and realize, that feels good when you breathe out. You know, if you're taking a deep breath and you expand your lungs and you suddenly feel the difference, you know you were shallow breathing before. Well, perhaps you didn't know on a conscious level, but now you do. And once you know that you have been shallow breathing, that's your indication. You need to calm your mind and calm your body and give your body a chance to heal itself through that breath, through that calmness. Because when you're calm, your whole body is able to revitalize and to feel great and more energy. As I say, more clarity as well. So let's go back to my board. Watching other people, if you don't feel you're able, watch other people. You know, just listen to my meditations. You haven't even got to be engaged in it to feel the energy, because that will still work. That was my intention anyway. Our energy systems are very important. So if they make everything work together, it's a whole team in our body. They work together. And we need that harmony. And especially if we're going to be more proactive, you definitely need to set the time just to be still, just to think of nothing, or to gaze at a colour. You know, I've got some of my clients looking at, I just used a green ribbon today, but you could use green or purple. These are the two areas that are really affected when you're being calm and when you're choosing to meditate on something around you. Well, some people find it's easier just to breathe that colour, because it's all about breath, isn't it? We're talking about you breathing, being centered, going inside. Maybe get yourself a green ribbon and breathe. And as you breathe, just focus on breathing in the beautiful colour green or purple, whichever you prefer. So, and do it a few times, because, you know, you want to indulge a little bit in this and just allow that feeling. It's a good way to start the week. And as I say, it'll make you make better decisions because you're not spinning like a marble in a tin. So do that as many times as you like. I love looking at colour. And if people are colourblind, don't worry, it still works. You can just focus on the item you're breathing in. Doesn't matter what you perceive the colour to be. And just the action itself is going to make you feel better. That's great. Some of my clients like to breathe in the energy of colour through a crystal. So as I say, purple's good. I've got a purple one here. I love this. It's actually a pendulum, but there we go. Divining tool. But if you want to use purple to study the colour, study how beautiful the colour is, you know, just gaze upon it and lose your conscious worry, stress. just focusing on something else for a short time, 17 seconds plus actually, will help to change your energy. Okay, that can calm you, that can focus you, can make you feel still. Maybe just look into a crystal. That's quite nice too, isn't it? So maybe you have some, maybe you don't. But maybe you can just look around and see what else you have that would be beautiful enough for you to focus on. I focus on the flowers. I focus on the leaves. I focus on the trees in the wood. You know, it's lovely. I focus on sound. You can do that as well. The trees, the sound, the birds. Lovely. So what else have I got on my board? Yes, so we need to use our senses, really. You know, imagination even, like I used to do. So I can't read that, actually. I can't read that, but I'll get back to that later. So, yeah, we just need to be conscious of the need, of the desire. Our spirit needs to be still. And our minds are doing this. And no wonder we don't sleep properly. A lot of people don't sleep or they have nightmares. I was always one of those. And if you can just use breath, use focus, use colour, use that time and be mindful, it's going to help you in so many ways. So find ways that just check in and find that peaceful moment inside the chaos that we tend to be living in. And, you know, people are filled with information, with news, with family issues. We need so much. Oh, Val says late. She's late. Doesn't matter, darling. It's lovely that you're here. Thank you. Happy Monday. So we have to create. Oh, that's something I was going to read to you. Something I've got here. I don't know who the author is, but to bring peace to the earth, strive to make your own life peaceful. It's a collective consciousness idea, isn't it? So, I mean, I'll put it back up on the wall now. So we have to create the peace inside us to affect collective consciousness and our families and friends. That is a really nice thing to perhaps write down. So you might make it into an affirmation, mightn't you? I bring peace to the earth as I strive to make my own life peaceful. That's a nice one, isn't it? So you can just adapt any of those to affirmations, can't you? I have got another affirmation I wrote on my board. As I create peace from within, I create peace throughout. Lovely. Really nice. So it is a good thing to create it inside you and then take it out. So I have got a lovely symbol that goes with this today. And I'll go back to my tea with Nans in a minute. So peace symbol. I know I've given this to you before, but I've channeled through a while back some intentional symbols to help you to find peace, to give you that opportunity to still your mind, to still your body, to find yourself in that spiritual place of self. So take a deep breath. This is peace of mind. As you breathe out, you kind of draw this in your mind or draw it in the air. It's quite nice. Peace of mind, peace of your heart, peace in your heart, and peace in your soul. So you do it 3 times. You're kind of saying mind, heart, and soul, aren't you? Peace in your mind, peace in your heart, and peace in your soul. Lovely. It's just an intention. And intentions are lovely because your subconscious mind is listening to you. How nice is that? So, and we have to find a moment, even if it's just doing that symbol, to breathe. Maybe do that as you take a deep breath. That's another way of just kind of losing this stuff on the outside of our consciousness. And no matter how small the gesture of that is, it's still going to, I believe, help you. Your mind, your body, your spirit. You deserve it. We tend to put other jobs as more important in our life than we do our own stillness. And lots of people are very wise enough to meditate for hours and hours. I think that's brilliant. They're really it's going to be a tonic for them. It's going to be a great energy that they give to other people because of that. And their bodies are going to be happy, their minds, their spirits. You develop spiritually if you're not sort of clogged down with all the stuff we do and have the surface things. You know, we don't need the surface things sometimes. So, yeah. I always find time every day. I do that usually before I get out of bed. I might just be still, think of a colour. You know, actually, the talks I've got are very good that I'm going to reference now. There's a mindful breathing talk I've done on the 22nd of 3rd, 22. Now, I've given you the date because it's on YouTube, so you can always find it. And so that obviously explains about breathing, how it goes beautifully with why we have to meditate. Hand-head meditation, which is on the 18th of the 7th, 22, is really nice because it kind of gives you the lack of stimulus. It teaches you in 20 minutes or so how to block out all light, and you imagine that you're still in the water. Okay, you just imagine with your eyes as you do this, you just imagine you're still in the water. Anyway, have a look at that, see what you think. Hand-head meditation is really nice. So, and you're kind of stilling yourself. You know, your body's made up of water. So as you're doing this and you're kind of just imagining what you want to feel, it's just focused on words or perhaps a still pond or whatever you want, okay? The importance of meditation, that goes with this, and it might be just a different angle I've used then. That was on the 23rd of the 5th, 22. I just felt I had to repeat this idea today because a lot of people, they're all saying, I've got no time. And, you know, time can be, you can feel much better in your busy day and feel like you've almost stretched time when you do this. So it's a nice concept just to, as you're breathing, your day is slower. It's much more easy to handle. So those three, mindful breathing, 22nd of the 3rd, 22, hand-head meditation, really practical tool on the 18th of the 7th, 22, and the importance of meditation, if you want to add to what I've talked about today, 23rd of the 5th, 22. So those three are lovely. So create the peace within yourself, because it's very important for physically calming your central nervous system. All kinds of problems can come from us feeling stressed and worried. You know, if we're worried about something or someone, we're all guilty of it because we all love our families, our friends, our world. Perhaps we're trying to help everybody. But it's very important that you help yourself first, because then you can help more. So for everybody, you know, I've got one thing I didn't mention here, which I quite like, and going back to the pond idea. You know, if you've got, I've said this before in many talks, but if you've got a pond and it's all sort of ripply, you can't see your reflection in the water. It's all distorted, isn't it? And when we've got too much in our minds, it's a bit like that. But if you could just imagine the pond is clear and you clear yourself to a still place somehow, finding whichever way you can that makes you feel happy. Still your waters and look into the pond. Now you see your face. Now you can see a reflection. And it's very important we do that. We see our reflection so we can see who we are and become more authentic. So it's very important that we do that because we care about ourselves and we care about our family and we care about our world. And it will help you in so many ways. It helps you to inspire you to think of new ideas. And because your mind is working better and you sleep better. So there's a win-win-win situation when you find the time to meditate. No time to meditate is just an excuse. We all have said it at some point, but now's the time to change that. And I certainly have been more disciplined enough lately to remind myself every day I'll do it rather than just now and again. As I say, I do it before I get out of bed. Just think for even 5 minutes. A peaceful colour, a peaceful scene, peaceful sound, anything that makes you feel peace. Give yourself that meditation feeling. Go inside yourself and start your day like that, or maybe end it, whichever you prefer. End your day like that, whatever you want. If you do it in the beginning of the day, before you start your day, you're more likely to have the whole day go smoothly, aren't you? Because you're going to attract what you feel. So if you went through a very busy day, at the end you know the need of it, you know the need to be still, but you won't sleep properly because you have too much still going on a subconscious level. And 95% of our minds will still be holding all that tension from all that stimulus that we've experienced that day. So please give this some thought, be mindful, find a way of just losing your focus, gaze on an object, you know, whether it's a crystal or a ribbon or a flower, or just being still and quiet in your mind. Even doing that action and breathing will give you what you need for that moment. And if you like it, repeat it or find other meditations, as I say, that suit you. I've got a lot of my clients that sort of try varied meditations, you know, chakra meditations, all sorts really, and whatever suits them and that theme that they're looking for. So as long as you're feeling good as a result of it, wonderful. So I hope you have a good chance to do this and just give it some thought. Maybe write yourself a little note and remind yourself you need to meditate, even if it's just something you're doing and losing your outside focus on. Focus on your breathing as you're doing it. Even washing up, like I said I used to do, that was the only respite I had in the day. Busy girl I was then. And I would just lose myself in an action as I took a deep breath. Still my central nervous system, almost like having a little respite from your busyness. I think I put that across quite well today, I hope. Find a way to meditate. As I say, it's really worth the investment. So I'm back next week. I have a really good subject next week I want to talk about. I'm not going to ruin it now I'm going to surprise you, but I'm really looking forward to next week. It's a practical thing you can do. It's something you'll probably enjoy doing and using on a daily basis. So please come back next week and I shall be here 12 o'clock on a Monday. So namaste moment, give yourself a big hug from me and please share this with everybody. You never know, it might be just what people need. It might be the only thing to get them moving in this week, you know, to get them motivated. My website isn't here, but I've got an email address, nancyfinch@hotmail.co.uk. If you need to talk to me about anything, I'm here for you. So remember to go on YouTube, check me out there. I've got Tea with Nans. Oh, thanks, Angie. I've got Tea with Nans, which are what we're doing here. I've got Nan Talks, which were just exercises I started a few years ago. Emotional tools, really. And as I say, I've got the meditations. So if you want to listen to any of them, you can always come back and tell me how great you felt on my email. And use your symbol. And as I say, give yourself a big hug. Bank holidays. Oh, is it bank holiday next week, Val? Not again. Do you know what? I never really pay attention to dates, do I, Val? That is so funny. Okay, guys. So you've got 2 weeks to play with this then, till the week after next, you see, and then I'll make up to you, I promise. I'll be back every week after that. Oh, that's so funny. Thank you, Val, for reminding me. You're lovely. I hope you all have a good week. Give yourself a hug from me, and I shall see you the week after next. Thanks, Val. And have a giggle in the week as well. Don't take life so seriously. It's got to be fun as well. Okay, keep your emotional balloon high, and I'll see you the week after next. Take care, everybody. Bye.